Hi. Today is Tuesday, May 14th, 2024. I'm Jason Shapiro, Crowded Market Report. Just a quick note. I talk about our Substack free membership. We send out weekly sort of charts of the week. This week we did Bitcoin because a lot of people do ask about Bitcoin. That is something that we track. That is something that we follow. So this week's was Bitcoin. If you're interested, please sign up for our Substack. Totally free. Anyway, today's action, I think this whole thing continues to come down to one word, which is liquidity. There's clearly plenty of liquidity out there in the world right now because assets are going up, and assets go up because there is a lot of money chasing them. And it doesn't matter what gold, silver, copper, stocks, bonds, they're going up. There's liquidity. How people are even talking about rate cuts when there's so much liquidity out there is something that I just don't get. Maybe the Fed knows something that I don't know. But I just don't get it. And how are they going to cut? The market, I did a video on this a couple months ago that you can find on YouTube, but I feel like the market is just going to force the Fed to raise rates. Okay. And the way they do to those assets just keep going up. How are you going to cut rates? With gold up another whatever and the stock market up another whatever, you're going to cut rates into that? That would be so irresponsible. I just can't see it. They're going to keep rallying these things, I think, as a way to force the Fed to realize that they have to raise rates. That's where I think we're going, personally. Just a thought. But, today we did have the PPI come out. It was more inflationary than expected. People were arguing that some of the numbers from before were adjusted lower, and maybe that was a good thing. But to me, the headline number was pretty inflationary. And yet the stock market, after going down after that number, came straight back and just went up and basically closed close to highs. The bond market, same thing, right? Big fall off on the number, came back, closed pretty close to highs. My most interesting market today was the British pound. I know I've been talking a lot about dollar. The dollar did go down today, but in particular, the British pound, which closed on its highs, they had a weak employment number, which theoretically should be favorable to them cutting rates, which should be negative British pound. And they also had their central banker speak, and he was very dovish. And this is what we saw. Okay. The pound went straight down on that speech, came right back. The PPI came out, pound went back down, immediately came right back and basically closed on highs. So I continue to like these short dollar trades, be it pound, Canada, euro, those type of trades. And they are starting to work. I'm hoping that we get to a point where, because I know everybody's short, that we can start breaking through some technical levels and it can really squeeze higher. But today was a good day for that, at least, because it fought off what should have been negative news for these things, and they closed up. So that's always a good first sign. And that to me was, at least from my perspective and from my portfolio, and something I've been focusing a lot on, that was a good sign today. And I think that's something to keep an eye on. I think that's where the best risk reward is. And I know I've talked about how I don't like silver and I don't like copper because it's too crowded, but I've said a million times, you don't short things that are on all-time highs, right? The fundamental story behind it is clear as a bell, which is why everybody's crowded long. But crowded long can last for a while, can last quite a while. Doesn't have to stop the market. And in particular, when they're crowded long, when markets are going up, right? And you have this mass liquidity, that's much more important, especially in the shorter term, than any kind of crowdingness. The markets will top when they're crowded, but the markets can be crowded for a while before they top. So that's my thought there. All right. So those are my thoughts for today. Hope everyone had a good day. Tomorrow we've got the CPI now, so we get to do it all over again. And we'll see how that goes. So good luck with that. And we'll talk again tomorrow. Thanks.